Hi, welcome to Real Perspective. I'm Russell Lockhart, and this is Steve Madden. And we are here to present 3 new movies are out. The first one will be A Different Man. The next one is Saturday Night, and then The Wild Robot. And we're going to start tonight off with A Different Man.
A Different Man. It's kind of different.
It is different.
It is different. But anyway, we're going to show you that trailer, so just watch the trailer now, and we'll be right back.
Hey, man. I know you. What's your name?
Edward?
Do you work for Facebook?
No, but I get this a lot.
Oh, hey, neighbor. People can be cruel, I imagine.
All unhappiness in life comes from not accepting what is. You know who taught me that? Lady Gaga.
This drug seems to have the potential to actually heal you. The implications are life-changing.
The face is falling off in clumps.
I'm sure it only looks like clumps to you.
Perhaps any potential risk is worth the reward?
Piece of man candy.
Can I believe my eyes? Edward! Who don't remember me? Oswald.
Hi. That guy's amazing. What do you know about him? Who is he? He's leading a double life.
I'm getting this feeling I've messed things up for you.
You know how we idealize people when we're in love?
So I'm the idolized version of Oswald?
It's kind of brilliant seeing you who looks like you, but you're not yourself.
Let's just all start being honest with ourselves, our friends.
Alrighty, so A Different Man.
A Different Man.
Okay.
So this one is kind of a cool different story here.
Okay.
So it stars Sebastian Stan. He plays Edward. He's the main character. Now Edward is a guy that is deformed. He's got this disease that deforms his face, and so it's just kind of almost think about like the Elephant Man and
that's what I was
stuff
thinking.
like that. So he had that kind of deformity, and he's just kind of a shy guy, he's afraid to be around women, all this stuff. Well, he gets a neighbor. Neighbor's played by Renate Reinsve, and she comes in and he's kind of smitten with her, but he's still like, really not feeling what the whole thing about him with the deformity.
Mm-hmm.
He's also an actor, so he does these acting spots, but the main thing he can do is he gets a spot where it's a PSA about, hey, how do you treat people at work that's different? So he plays a person that's different at the work, and how do you treat them? So because he can't really get real roles at that point. Well, when he meets Renee, which is the girl from next door, he's smitten with her. She's a playwright. They start talking about it, and she's going, man, I'd really love to do a story about you. Well, during this time, he's really kind of smitten with her, so he has a surgery done. And the surgery, he had gone to the doctor. He goes to this long-time doctor. They kind of do little things, and they say, hey, I think we can just totally fix this and get rid of what the problem is with you. So they do that, and then he's in this real world, but he doesn't tell her who he is. He just says, hey, he moved. And he's traveling around this world like a new man. Mm-hmm. And he's not getting the attention that he's supposed to be getting, or that he thinks he needs to be getting. And then she's doing this play, and he's supposed to be getting this role, but now he doesn't look like he did, so he's not getting the role. So all these different things are playing into this story, and then it goes from there. It's a story about looking inside and seeing what you are inside, not an outer person. Yeah. That's basically the gist of this. It also has an actor named Adam Pearson. Now, Adam
has neuropathy.
Yeah, he does. He has that disease that they talk about in here, and I've seen him. He was in a movie like Under the Skin many years ago. Mm-hmm. He's done other things, and there's a documentary that he has out that that's won a lot of awards and everything. This is, like I said, this is all about just inner beauty. And what is it that makes us attractable to other people? What is it that people are attracting to us? And most of the time, it's not the outer beauty. I mean, I think it is right at first, and I think that's what they talk about a little bit. But when you get to know people, I mean, you see people that as they rise to, I mean, they're celebrities, but they were married before they were celebrities. So a lot of people go, oh, when you're a celebrity and you've got a lot of money, you're going to attract gorgeous women and all that. Well, there are people that out there that had, before they got famous, had these gorgeous spouses, beautiful, and they're plain. They're not anything to write home about. They're not considered the good-looking people, but they're married to somebody who's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's all about, I think that's what it's all about. It's all about that inner beauty. They're good people. And I look at, and I don't want to name names of celebrities, but I know there's a huge old country singer that is always, I mean, he's known to be gorgeous. Women love him. He's good looking. But he's been married to the same woman since they were young. And he was like playing, bars and hole in the wall stuff.
Yeah.
And, she stuck by him and he became famous. He didn't let her go. And they were married this whole time. They still are. That's because there's that, he doesn't need a celebrity wife. He doesn't need someone beautiful because he's a real person. She's a real person. And that's the bond. And I think that's what I get out of this movie is that now it is one of those things that sometimes we don't see our own beauty. We look in the mirror, and I think we're all guilty of this. We look in the mirror and we go, ooh, I'm here, this is not good, this is not good.
Oh, yeah.
We are our worst critics. So I think this is just such a good movie on that account. One of the things that I will say, it's rated R. It's rated R for nudity, language, adult situations, sexual situations, a little bit of violence. I think that this is such a good story to kind of tell people nowadays, and these days when we have such self-image problems, that when used to be, you had these magazines and women would try to try to be like the women in these magazines. Nowadays, it's not just the magazines. It's just everybody on the internet.
Yeah.
And, you see these people, and even their Facebook, they're all, a lot of people will, get their best picture there and brag about the things they do. And it keeps people, they're kind of go, ooh, I don't have that kind of life. They're, I'm just plain. Well, most of us are just plain. So I think I give this high props for telling this story. And I really think that's a good thing. The only thing that I am kind of not happy with is the sex didn't need to be there. The language didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
So I think it could have been something really a good story to tell, be a PG-13, and have some teenagers watch this.
Yeah.
And tweens that need to this message. Because it's reaching adults. Adults still need it, but not as bad as these guys and the tweens and the teens.
Yeah.
I think they need it.
I talked about self-image and the way people are looking at themselves. And, you can put a good message out like this or something about dealing with that. Now, I remember, did you watch The Elephant Man?
Oh, yeah.
Black and white.
The Elephant Man and Mask.
And Mask.
I love both of those.
The other one, that was the other one. And I mean, this seems to be something to that effect, which is good. And I like the idea that it appears they're trying to bring some focus on neurofibromatosis, that particular disease. I gotta say that.
That's
pretty
about
slowly.
That is about
Yeah, but which is good, and God bless them for doing that. The thing is that when you think that you have to wrap it in sex, nudity, cussing, and stuff like this is just, I have always wondered why directors or writers or whatever, producers in Hollywood, feel that they have to put that in.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. We've only had nudity in film since 60s, 70s, right?
Dude, they said the second,
Yeah.
when they finally figured out how to use the camera, the second picture they took was of a nude.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, people
But
are
movies,
degenerate, so that-
we've been around movies though
Yeah.
for so many years
Yeah.
that told stories, and they didn't need that.
No.
Now I'm not saying I think the body, the human body is a beautiful thing. That's all I'm saying. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with gratuitous stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so if it was something that the story was about, that could be a woman that is, that's or a guy that's one of the two that's promiscuous, and that's the whole storyline. Okay, I get that. You might have to have that because you're telling the story about that. But this is not about that. This had nothing to do with that, and it was something. The scene that the nudity happened could have been left out or told in a very non-nudity type of thing. It's one of those things that I just didn't see the reason to have that. And I'm not a prude by any means. I mean, I talked to y'all about
as
language and
a
everything.
Christian,
Yeah,
I
as a
mean, we
Christian,
don't
you have
sit
to
there
think
and
about that.
absorb this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't see Christians should be out there on the internet looking at porn. I mean, come on.
But like I said, you watch movies, and nowadays you don't know what's going to be in. Of course, that's why we started this, so that we could tell you what's in this.
Mm-hmm.
Do
you remember? And this is because I'm going to talk about shocking scenes that had no place in the movie. They shouldn't have even been there.
Yeah.
Okay. I was watching the movie Kramer versus Kramer. Do you remember that?
Vaguely. I remember the story.
Hoffman, Meryl Streep, both of them. I mean, Meryl Streep, that was brought her up, Anyway, wonderful movie. It was talking about divorce. It was dealing with divorce and all this. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, I felt like the little kid in this movie. Because at one night, the little kid gets up to go to the bathroom, and what does he walk into except a fully exposed nude woman walking out of his bedroom?
Yeah.
Shock. Boom. I'm over here going, this movie had so much goodness to it, and
The heart
and all this, and then you had to throw that trash in there.
Yeah.
Why?
And see, I know that I've heard people say, well, PG is box office murder. You're not suicide. You're not going to get anybody to see this. I think they're wrong right now. I think that people are craving PG, craving to be able to see these movies that have good stories, but not a bunch of
How
stuff.
many people watched Avengers Endgame?
Yeah, I mean tons.
I mean, we're talking millions. The money just poured in. How many nude scenes did you see in that?
Absolutely zero.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And that's the thing is that, how about the Passion of the Christ?
Yeah. Or, you look at even though it was about child trafficking, they didn't have any nudity or anything in Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
And that told a great story. And it's about the business.
Yeah.
But they skirted it so well that you knew what it was about. And it wasn't for kids, so, but you knew what it was about, but they did not show nudity in there, and they did not cuss in it. But that's what I'm saying, is I think the story here, the message is great.
And how many people, because they rated it R like that, put all that, how many people that could have heard this message or that would reach out to these people and give them a good message there, how many people missed out?
Exactly, and there's tons and tons. And like I said, especially when you're talking about tweens and teens who, let's face it, they're the ones right now going through a crisis.
Yes.
I mean, we're seeing it all the time. Look, right now, teen suicide is up by further than we've seen it in a while. And a lot of that is because of the internet, because of the things the self-image. So I think it was a great movie. I think it could have missed the mark a little bit, just because they had to put that stuff in there to make it an R so they can have people see it.
Okay.
I think that's all it is to it.
Okay, let's run down our. We already talked about the nudity, sex, the language, wokeness.
None. No, it doesn't even deal with that.
Okay. Let me see. I'm sorry. What other? Okay. What about homosexuality, trans, that type of thing?
I don't think there was.
Okay.
If there was, it was very.
Wasn't trying to push an agenda.
Wasn't trying to push an agenda.
That type of thing.
No.
Alrighty.
And I would also say, not only was Sebastian, a good actor. He was great. But this dude, Adam Pearson,
yes,
he was phenomenal in this. He just came in. It was just
Adam Pearson,
awesome.
yes.
Pearson. He was just really, really good.
Have you seen? Of course, you've seen him. I mean, in his movie.
I've seen Under the Skin, and that was many years ago. But I have not seen the documentary, and I want to go back and look at that.
Wow.
So
I'm looking at a picture of him and this type of thing, and God bless him. You know?
And he's like when you talk about someone exudes charisma, that dude does. He walked in when you're seeing him on the film as this character. He plays a character that comes in and actually gets the role because he looks like him. So it's like he gets this role, and he's this actor, and he's just really great. He just exudes character. He just, like I said, I love the movie. I just didn't like the surrounding stuff that they had to add it to.
Okay, all right, and we feel that you felt like it missed its target.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you would have been able to reach out to those younger people that have self-image issues, I mean, it would have probably spoken more to them too.
Absolutely.
Without having to watch. Anyway.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about reels.
So I would have given it a higher reel, except for all the gunk that's in there that I think that could have been edged out. So I'm going to give it a 7.5.
7.5.
Still decent. I really love the story. I really love the story.
All right.
Really, really love the message. But I just can't, that's not a film that should have had all that trash in it.
All right. All righty. Well, let's move on to our second.
All right. So our second movie is Saturday Night. And this is all about the night before Saturday Night Live went live back in the 70s.
Oh, man. This is going to be good. Anyway, watch the trailer. We'll be right back.
Hey, free comedy show, plenty of seats, plenty of tickets left, guys. Free show.
So, big night.
Look, my name is Lorne Michaels. I'm the producer of Saturday Night.
The whole night?
Yeah, the whole night.
Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner, Dan Aika.
Aykroyd.
You know, I was thinking, why don't we punt? We should run the dress rehearsal and claw back a win next Saturday.
We can't, Dick. It's a live show.
We're just not ready.
Doesn't matter that we're ready. It matters that it's 11:30. That's when we go on.
Lauren, all I'm trying to do is give you advice. It's in everyone's best interest, mainly yours.
Sorry, was that a threat?
You haven't locked the script. Your crew is in open rebellion.
Writers on the 17th floor tied a belt around Big Bird's neck and hung him from my dressing room door.
So tell me how you fit into this ensemble.
Oh, is this an ensemble?
NBC makes more money playing versions of The Tonight Show.
NBC is lucky to have something as relevant as this show.
One they don't even want.
That's logical, Dick. That's why they're paying us all to be here.
I mean, we're 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who have never made anything. Do you ever stop and wonder why they said yes? A counterculture show starring total unknowns with zero narrative and even less structure. They want you to fail.
We just have to make it to air.
Am I still in the show?
Okay. So this is about the night before.
The night before. Now, they kind of, massaged the story a little bit.
Okay.
It was, whenever I was looking at it, because I asked before, I said, wonder how much of this was real and how much was fake. Now, they said it was like a huge portion of it was real. So but they kind of Hollywooded up. So the one instance they talked about, because it was like NBC did not really want them to do this. They were kind of like going, hey, these young people, we don't want them around. We don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So the big executive from NBC, way they show in this is he's got his hand on the, either go live or go to tape of the Milton Berle show. So he's got his button, not Milton Berle, the Johnny Carson show. So he's got his hand above the button ready to hit, go to tape.
Yeah.
So they said that, like something like that, is true, but it's not true to the point where he's holding it up. And the hand, he said, what they said without the truth on that one is that he was ready to go to tape if they didn't start off really well.
Okay.
So he was ready to go to tape, but he didn't have his hand on the button. He was just like would go as soon as if I say tape, go to tape, and that's all. So that's kind of stuff like that wasn't real. This is a fun movie. It's also done. What's really cool, it's done by Jason Reitman, which is he's done the last two Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So it directed it and produced one and directed the other one.
Mm-hmm.
He does this, and so he always has a lot of fun in his movies. And this one is truly chaotic. And everything I read about it after that was the whole thing before that, the Saturday Night Live went on camera and debuted that day in '77, was just madhouse. They weren't sure if the skits were going to work. They weren't sure if everything was going to work at all. They didn't have everything ready. John Belushi, who has played Matt Wood, which is awesome. He did such a great Belushi on here. And Belushi waited till like 5 minutes before they went live to sign his contract.
Oh,
and
he
so
did?
yeah, and that was true. And they made a big deal out of this about that. And yeah, he was like holdout, and he didn't really want to be pigeonholed in this show until like the last about 5 minutes before.
5 minutes before.
All of this stuff, a lot of that was real, and everything that I saw when I looked it up, a huge portion of it was real. There were like minor things that they changed.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase was over there. He was like a big flirt, and he's like really just like full of himself. And they said that's exactly the way he was. He's a little bit of a jerk sometimes, and I've heard that before about him.
Oh yeah.
J.K. Simmons, he plays Milton Berle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like lurking around the studio waiting for them to fail, and that part was false. Even though he was, they did say he didn't want them to succeed.
Wow.
Milton Berle wanted his show to be on there and stuff like
yeah.
that. So a lot of that happened. So it's just about this chaotic things that were happening. The night before, they were laying brick because they wanted it to look like a city in New York. So they were laying the brick down, and there was one guy doing it, brick by brick, that night, and trying to get it all done before showtime. All the people were running around. He had, posters up there with like skits and music and all that, and he had enough for 3 hours, and he didn't know what he was going to do to get that down to that hour and a half. Everything was chaotic. Everything was going. It's just such a cool movie. And nostalgia. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fan of Saturday Night Live, especially the original cast before, it gave me that nostalgia that back when Saturday Night Live, and I'm sorry if I want to step on some toes, young people, and maybe some older people like this SNL nowadays, but it's not as fun as it used to be.
No.
It's not as edgy as it used to be. It was something about that time that it was just these things, the skits, the live skits and stuff it was fun. It was every skit that you saw was funny. I think they had some really great cast members there and very good talent. And these were all young comedians coming up.
Yes.
And I think that they did a great job in depicting it. Every single one of the actors that did this was spot on. Now, my complaint on this one, the only thing that I have complaint on, they really went and focused on Belushi, Chase, and Aykroyd for the most part.
Well, those are the ones that really, if you want to talk about the most successful ones, those were the ones that came out of that.
But here's, Lorraine Newman, Gil Radner, all the girls,
they all were, and
they kind of backdropped them.
But you didn't see Bill Murray in this one.
Now, Bill Murray didn't come around Saturday Night Live for a couple of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't in this one.
He wasn't in this one. So this, but Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and Belushi. Now, Belushi, of course, Animal House.
Yeah. But that was even.
And let me see, Chevy Chase. Oh goodness.
Oh, everything.
Fletch, Caddyshack.
One of my favorite from Chevy Chase's Seems Like Old Times. I know
Seems Like
that's
Old
kind of a little bit different.
And of course, the whole Vacation series.
Yeah, Vacation.
You know, I mean,
Absolutely.
every Christmas you're watching Chevy Chase with Christmas Vacation, and then Dan Aykroyd and Belushi together as the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, and then Dan with other people with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, those were the most successful.
Yeah.
Garrett. I mean, Jane Curtin. She dug herself a niche in television.
She did. Gilda
would have been if she would have lived.
Gilda did comedy albums after that.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge. She turned her Saturday Night Live to comedy albums and a tour with comedy.
Yes.
And she would have done more. And you know, of course, she met Gene Wilder, and they got married. But then she ended up being
Willy
sick.
Wonka.
Yeah, Willy Wonka.
She married Willy Wonka.
So yeah, this is. It was such a good movie. I thought they did a great job. They killed it. They. And one of the things that I absolutely loved is they had, I can't remember his name, that did Andy Kaufman. They had Andy Kaufman on there.
Oh, they
was
did.
Hilarious.
Andy was something else.
And then now some of the things I didn't know, and I looked it up, and some of this was true. I didn't know some of this stuff. They did kind of incorporate. There were some of the things that were in there. They were kind of incorporating characters in there, so you saw them working on a character that you knew that was in the show, that first show.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. You saw, like, one of the things that Andy Kaufman was one of them, because I remember seeing Andy Kaufman and him doing the Mighty Mouse skit. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go see that. That's a very good skit. Andy Kaufman was like one of those deep fake type of people.
Yeah.
He came in acting like he was a foreigner, but he could speak perfect English, and he would do these little skits like that. In Taxi, he did that. He turned that, parlayed that into a movie and a show. But everything that they did was just perfect. They had Jim Henson character on there, and I kept thinking, this has got to be fake. I don't remember anything about that, but I do remember now that they did some stuff with the Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
But they were, during that, they said they were treating Jim Henson's Muppet really bad, and I'm going, that can't be real. But when I looked it up, it was. They were kind of, they didn't want to write for a kids show.
Yeah.
So the writers were kind of, being mean to Jim Henson a little bit. But anyway, all in all, it's such a good movie. It's just about that first night when Saturday Night Live came into play.
Okay.
So it was really good to see all the people that were there.
Okay.
And Garrett Morris was absolutely, the person that played Garrett Morris was hilarious, and he had the voice down, and he had everything, and he even did a little skit that was one that he did during SNL. He did it as trying to just test mic test, and when he did the mic test, he did the song that made him famous on SNL. So I thought that was
that's awesome. Okay, so Saturday Night Live, of course, has been on since 1975.
77, I believe. I believe it was 77.
We say, when did it happen? Anyway, about the night of this 1975.
75, I missed it.
Yeah, 75,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm going to go back and just replace 77, and I'll just double over.
We'll double over that. Anyway, until 2024, we're talking, well, that's 50 years.
Yeah.
Right there.
Absolutely.
And the thing here is that, yes, it's been on, it's changed, but when I was young, I remember being young, right out of college. No, 75. Goodness, that was a long time ago. I wasn't even in college. I was in high school. Anyway, back then, all the way till now, and they can continue it. But yes, and what you said before, yes, of course, there's been good and bad.
Yeah.
They established the evening news report or whatever that is. The news, whatever. I mean, has been. But the problem is when Hollywood went woke, that also affected this as well. Which
did.
But whatever.
But before it didn't. It was like they made fun of everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, even though I know that Chevy Chase made a career out of falling down like he was
Gerald Ford.
But every president had a mark on them so that they could make fun of them. And I remember trying to remember who. Oh, I think it was Ford who said to Chevy. He said, "Look, man, there's comedians all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're being made fun of and, like satirized, I think that's a compliment."
They say it's the highest form of compliment.
Yeah.
And that's and the thing is, that's great, but back then, and everybody that I know of, we talk about SNL, we always go back to those first years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because that's what made it great. And it's good to see. I I didn't know that it was just doing before the first episode premiered.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a little bit more out of that, but I mean, whatever. But
I'd kind of like to see them kind of come back with a second one and a little bit more about behind the scenes.
And were those actors and actresses good enough to come back and do more?
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Okay.
And then one of the other people that was in it that was kind of brief because, well, he had quite a bit. I swear this dude, I can't remember his name. I didn't write it down. But there's a guy that played Billy Crystal. Because Billy Crystal was there for the first show.
Nicholas Podany.
He had the voice up. He had looked like him. I love Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal's
and
great.
Billy Crystal was actually on there to perform, and he didn't get a chance to because they were so tight on time. So I remember him not being able to do it, and I remember reading that before. And then years later, he came back and he was a part of the show. So
Paul Schaefer. I'm saying, look at all these things.
Yeah.
Al Franken, man. Al Franken, Senator Al Franken, or whatever. He's out of there now. But anyway, him and that other guy that would perform, Tom Davis.
Yeah.
Those two, Davis and that, they were in the movie. I just saw them the other day in Trading Places.
Yeah.
With Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Anyway, funny guys.
Yeah.
Funny guys.
Even the people that plays every one of these just spot on. They had a perfect eye. I was so impressed whenever with Ella Hart for Ella Hunt for Gilda Radner. Ella Hunt was absolutely perfect as Gilda. You could just, she was the embodiment of Gilda.
And I'll tell you what, I guarantee you there were eyes on her.
Yeah.
Because Gilda, it was very sad that she had gotten the cancer.
Yeah.
She passed away. Very sad situation there. But I mean, when you have somebody like that made such a difference, made such an effect, you've got somebody portraying them. There's a lot of eyes on them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of these. There's a lot of them are kind of newcomers, and you had some people that played like Corey Michael Smith played the Riddler in Gotham. So he's already had this following, but he does Chevy Chase, and he does a great job, man. I think everybody just embodies their character so well. Actually, my only complaint on this was the fact that the women were kind of used as backdrops. You saw them there, and you saw them kind of react to things, but they didn't give them the meat like they did the guys. And I like that. I like the three guys that they have, and the I'm a big fan of all three of the original people, but I think that I'm a huge Gilda Radner fan, absolutely huge. I've always liked her. I think she's just so funny, and she was cute and everything. I love Rosanna Dana.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they could have given that equal amount to all of them and do that.
There was no Steve Martin because he was never in the first episode.
Right. So it's a good flick, man. If you like Saturday Night Live, now it is again rated R. This one has some language. Yeah. It's got some nudity. They call it graphic nudity. I don't think it was just like brief type of thing. A drug use because they all did like
they were all
smoking, cocaine
high.
And stuff like that. It's.
I'm not sure. Maybe Jane Curtin. I'm not sure if she did that.
Actually, I think they talked about her doing it too, but I don't know. I think usually a lot of the SNL people did at that time. Yeah. So it's such a good movie. I think it's nostalgia. It's fun. And you feel the chaos that's happening before it happened, and it's cool because it was like they ticked down, the clock to when it's time to do it.
Nice.
But it's such a good movie. I thought they were really good.
Okay, so let's take a look at our list. We got our list of, we already talked about nudity and cussing. And I would have expected if it's R-rated with this that you heard some F words about cussing.
Yeah.
Anyway, wokeness.
No, because I mean because it was all about the Saturday Night Live cast. None of that.
Any is
Same
gay
thing.
or tranny or any of that?
Nothing there. Nothing there at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, so age limit, you say it's an R-rated, so
It
this
is
is
an
not
R-rated.
meant for the kiddies.
No. I mean, it's good. You're going to be. You need to be 17 or above. It's one of those that has a lot of language. So again, if you feel, as I always say, if you feel okay with your kids watching 15, 16-year-old, and you know they can handle an R-rated movie, go look on IMDb. It'll show you exactly what it's R-rated for, what cuss words are in there, what nudity's in there, all of that stuff.
So I am not seeing a very heavy box office total compared to.
Yeah.
It was released on the 20. It says the 27th of May or September.
Yeah.
We're on October 5th. Okay.
Actually, it would have been released. I think it was released worldwide this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah,
so very in its first week, it has a budget of 25 mil. 358,000. So let's see how this thing does. Hopefully it does.
I think it'll be a good. I think it'll be a good weekend here because it's now worldwide. I think it was a limited release for a week. And now
do you think that today's audience or the kids and the younger people and all that, they're displaced from SNL?
I think the problem is they love SNL, but they are watching the new stuff.
So they're watching the
new stuff and they think it's funny. And I remember, probably about a year or two ago, maybe a couple of years ago, my son came in while I was watching old SNL stuff.
Yeah.
And he sat over there and he was laughing.
It was funny.
Going, that's funny. I said,
but they'd
I know.
never seen it before.
Yeah, it's like, and nowadays there are some funny skits. I won't say that there's no funny skits. There are some funny skits on the new SNL. But it's like funny, nah.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's
and
a hit and miss.
You're just kind of, or you may have funny, and then, it's like you're not being consistent. And to me, I think nowadays they're trying more for shock value to get a way to say a cuss word that's major on there while hiding it. And I've seen that.
Well, this could encompass the whole discussion of comedy. Comedy has shifted over in my lifetime. I remember, of course, I'm old, so basically I can look at Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Some of that old stuff, Charlie Chaplin and stuff like that. I watched that, but I was not born back then.
Right.
When we were coming up, SNL, that was funny stuff. And I'm going to tell you one thing. These guys here, these not ready for prime time players, were the ones that laid down the movies that were so popular back then.
Absolutely.
When they crossed over into Hollywood. And that was comedy. That was funniness. Chevy Chase, there is a certain dynamic to comedy. Freeze, okay? Hit them once, you hit them again, you hit them a third time to drill the point home. And if you'll watch Christmas Vacation, I was seeing that. I'm not sure it was Bob or that, but he goes up. He's in the attic. He gets locked in the attic. Y'all seen this? I'm sure you have. Anyway, he's up in the attic. So he's trying to, he steps one way, and here comes the floorboard hitting him in the face once. Then he stepped a second time, and by God, I say, watch for the third. It happened.
Yeah.
Boom. He knew comedy.
Yeah.
But the thing here is today, like you have said, is that we think that either talking nasty, saying bad words, or what have you, is supposed to be funny.
Well, yeah, and I will say this: there were some great comedians over my lifetime. I mean, I grew up around Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin. Also, George Carlin was hosting this, and so that's kind of funny and true about a lot of the stuff that they said about George Carlin. I grew up some really. I mean, these comedians had foul mounts. Okay, now here's the difference between what I see now and what I saw then. What I saw then was comedians telling jokes that happen to have cuss words in them. Okay, what I see now is comedians are making jokes out of the cuss words.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like they're having to be put in there.
Yeah,
and
when you sit at a stand-up and some guy has to just rattle off 150 F words, and he thinks it's funny, oh, the F and this and F and that and F and that, you're going, dude. And you know, one thing I noticed, Robin Williams, I would say he, as God bless him, you know, whatever happened with his dementia and killing himself. But the thing here is that he was one of the funniest guys that will walk this earth. I mean, he would sit there and he would have Johnny Carson rolling off his chair. Was he sitting over there talking dirty? No. Was
in his
lives, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when he would appear on Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Mork and Mindy. Yeah. Stuff like this. You didn't see a lot of the filth.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with George Carlin. George Carlin, when I first saw him, was on Laugh-In and stuff like that, and it was called the Hippy Dippy Weatherman.
Yes.
And he played a hippie that was telling the weather, man, it's going to be raining outside, stuff like that. Yeah. He was funny and no cussing. But then he's also the comedian that kid brought us these.
You go to his concerts, or listen to his albums.
The 7 words you can never see on television, which by now I think all of them are on television. But back then they weren't. But yeah, it's a different world nowadays. But I think what the problem was is that we just got away from comedy and trying to make the filth funny. Yeah. And the comedy before was comedy with some cuss words and filth in it. And you actually had comedians, I mean, I've seen comedians all the time that didn't cuss, and their sets were fantastic. Sinbad was one of them. Sinbad said, I don't know he's out on the comedy circuit. I don't know if he does something different nowadays, because I know he promised his grandmother he wouldn't cuss. Yeah. And so you saw all of his stand-up comedy, and he didn't cuss. I don't know. After his grandma passed away, I don't know if he went back to doing that or not. Yeah. But anyway, you see a lot of these funny people that you know. I remember going to see the Blue Collar tour.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I don't remember any cussing in there.
It would be transitional. I call it transitional words. The D word or hell or something like that. Now on the other hand, Ron White was a filthy man. You don't go to one of his, but
I don't remember. I don't remember if the comedy tour, the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, if he was that blue. No, if he was that. It was
okay. They had a lot of funny stuff and a lot of and stuff like this, but still the same thing is that we have the kids or whatever of today, if they would be exposed to some of this from before, would they find that funny?
I hope so. I mean, again, like I said, my son came down that time and watched it, and he was like he was laughing at it. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, they have it's just so bizarre comedy they had. Mm-hmm. I remember the one comedian they showed on here that he said, I do my impersonation of Mr. Rogers with spikes in his eyes. And all it is, and he's screaming because his eyes hurt. And it was like, those were just weird comedy things. Yeah. It's not something, and like I said, Andy Kaufman with his stuff that he did. It's just things that with John Belushi, with things like the Samurai Delegate. And stuff like that's just weird and stupid, but funny. But yeah.
So it was good stuff. Okay, you recommend it? Okay.
If you love Saturday Night Live, you're going to love this. If you love the original, if you're old enough to remember the original, or young enough to where your parents say, hey, watch this. This is stuff this funnier than yours. I think you're going to like it.
Okay. Real.
I'm going to go a solid 8. And it felt, better than the last I think a lot of that was that nostalgia for me.
0.5 better than the last one. Okay, yeah.
Nostalgia.
Okay, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. Okay, well, let's get to our third movie.
Third one is called The Wild Robot. The Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot.
The Wild Robot.
Okay. All righty. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at that trailer, and sorry about that, I got a call. The trailer, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes, to survive, we must become more than we were programmed to be.
Okay, so this is animated.
It is animated.
Okay.
This is a great movie. I'm like, I was floored by how good it was. This is about, so I kind of equated a little bit back in, well.
Iron Giant?
Iron Giant. I would equate it to Iron Giant.
Okay.
Iron Giant to me had a place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it when I was younger. I showed it to my son. He loved it. And just recently, I've shown it to my grandson, which is just awesome. So anyway, it kind of reminded me of that. Now, beyond that, it's a little bit different story. So this robot, he lands on this wildlife. So he's shipwrecked. It's kind of like there's a ship that wrecks. He comes aboard and he's waking up, trying to figure out what his purpose is. So he's this robot that was ordered to help people. Okay. So he's going to all these different animals and plants and going, what can I help you with? What's my mission? And he's doing that. So, and of course, as Mother Nature does, they're trying to get rid of it. They're just trying to attack it or kill it or whatever they need to do. Mm-hmm. But then he learns their language, so he kind of adapts and he just starts talking to the animals. It's such a sweet movie. It's a lot about coming together. And okay. I know that sounds weird, especially for a kid's movie, mm-hmm. but I think it could be kind of a metaphor to what we go through in our world right now. Okay. We're all divided. We're all divided yes. for political reasons, for religious reasons, for any other reason that other people can divide us by a war that's in somewhere else, and we're on this side, they're on this side, and back and forth. This movie is about coming together and saying, like this robot is going to help people. And it didn't matter if it was a squirrel or a person or, a cactus plant, whatever. Yeah. He was wanting to help these people. So this is truly about a film about coming together as a society, to me. That's what I took from it. And mm-hmm. and so you have all these predators that fight each other, and he's trying to get these people all together for are these animals together for a reason during that time. So it's just such a great movie. The animation is top notch. It's absolutely beautiful. I think that's. I always say that it's like it's DreamWorks, and I always say that when you're watching an animated movie, the animation should be the character. That should be part of that character. And I think this does. That animation comes to life. It pops. The robot pops. Everything about it was just. I was absolutely floored how good it was. You don't get bored. You are, from the moment that the robot lands in this jungle area, you see what happens. You see it coming alive. Beavers are coming over there trying to figure out what it is, and because it's like parceling the water, you see all this stuff that's happening, and then how it's rejected and how it adapts. I just can't say enough good things about this movie. It's just, I was just, from the very beginning to the very end, I was enthralled in the movie. So it's got some great acting in it. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian.
Yep. He's Fink.
He is
Red Fox.
Yeah. So and The Last of Us for young people. He's also in The Last of Us.
Yeah.
He is part of that. And then you have for the robot is Lupita Nyong'o. I really hope, Lupita, that I didn't mess up that name. But
okay, with today's pronouns, Roz they call.
Yeah, Roz is a robot.
Okay, and that is a she.
Yeah.
The name of her product.
Yes, her character is Roz, and that's a robot. Lupita is fastly becoming one of my favorite actresses.
She is so good.
I first saw her in a movie called which was Black Panther.
I saw Black Panther and then the second one. So, yeah.
I saw her in Little Monsters.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And this is a great movie. I love Little Monsters. And she shows her comedic side on that. She's shown her serious side in Black Panther. She also did the A Quiet Place Day One.
She did that.
Yeah. So that's I just fascinated just really loving this woman. She is just so good.
Nice.
But she plays a robot. Does a great job. Knocks it out of the park. You also have Catherine O'Hara, and what's funny about this, she is like my daughter and I were talking about it not too long ago. It's like she's typecast in mom roles.
Yeah.
As Beetlejuice, she was played the mom, and there was one called Over the Hedge. She played the mom of all these little baby animals, and again here she plays the mom. It's funny, Possum Mom. She's really funny in it. Then Mark Hamill has a spot in it. He plays a bear. You have Bill Nye. You have Matt Berry.
Now, if y'all don't know who he is, there's a show on, I think it's FX, about vampires. It's a comedy, something about what you do in the dark or something like that.
Yeah. When I first saw that, I saw that at South by, and they did it was a movie, a mockumentary, and then they turned it into the show on there.
See, Matt Berry comes from British, the IT crowd, if you ever see that. He also, there was a group of them that did some other stuff over there. But anyway, he is one of the funny, and the way he can do his voice is just amazing. Anyway, Matt Berry is a funny guy. Bill Nye, you've seen him in, well, actually, do you remember Love Actually?
Yes, I love Actually.
He was the rock star.
Yeah. He does a lot of movies. He's really good.
And let me see what else. Oh, we got Ving Rhames from Mission Impossible,
man.
Yeah,
Ving is one of my favorite actors too. I like him too. So this all comes together really well. I mean, great acting, great voice acting.
Wonderful
voices there. You could feel the love of the whole movie that comes together. Again, it just sounded to me like all these actors were loving doing this. I mean, it just seemed like that they really liked doing these voices, and it just showed in the product.
Yes.
Again, it was beautiful. It's got a beautiful storyline. The pacing is fantastic. I think there's nothing like wild about it. It's PG, so the main thing you get out of that is that there's animals attacking other animals, as Mother Nature has, them attacking the robot. But overall, it's just such a good movie. I think that kids could go see it. Little bitty kids, maybe not. I think you would have to kind of take your best guess with how you want to convey that. There's a little bit of nature violence in it, but not like watching National Geographic and seeing a elephant brought down by 5 different lions, but things like where they're just like they're holding something and a bird comes up and flies and grabs it or something like that. So you see things like that. I think, to me, I mean, I've got a 5-year-old grandson, and I can't wait for him to see it. I think that would be a wonderful thing. I think our kids need to see this. I think our teenagers need to see this, and frankly, I think our adults need to see this.
Yes.
Because we are a nation in decline where we're just mad at each other. Facebook does that, and all these different things causes like people be at each other's throats.
Yeah.
I think we need to get back to helping each other.
Yeah.
So, and being there for each other.
Good message.
That's the message with this one. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, absolutely solid movie, man. Solid.
Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers over here. Anyway, the budget was 78 mil. They've already made 69 mil, and they're going strong.
I think it's going to be solid.
Brilliant. That's good. Yeah. Good movies like this, I think, need to make the money. Some of this other stuff. But anyway, wonderful actors. Let me see. Okay,
the story.
When I looked at it, I thought of the Iron Giant.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, and I read an article the other day about the saddest scenes in a movie, and one of them was with the Iron Giant. I can't remember what that was, to be honest with you. But anyway, but yeah, Iron Giant is very popular. This looks good here. Animation design. Just FYI. Go see it at the Flex, at the movie house. It is a Netflix deal with Peacock, so they'll 4 months it'll show on Peacock when it comes to pay TV, and then it'll go over to Netflix as well. So I mean, in this day and age, a lot of times we have to wait. We may not have the ability to go to the movie house. It's just me; I'm too busy. But whatever.
And sometimes it's money, sometimes that's...
and you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it. This looks really good.
It is fantastic. And I will say this, if you get a chance to see it on the big screen, do it. Even if it's like taking your kids to go see it on a matinee, that's beautiful. There's a lot of theaters nowadays that do $5 Tuesdays or $5 whatever. Take advantage of those. And this one is one that I really believe I loved it on the big screen. It comes to life, and it's just so much fun. So I just think that it's something that's really good. Part of this, again, part of the reason we do this is to show Christian families where can you take kids to see a good movie that is not trying to push an agenda or not trying to put stuff in your kids' minds that really kids shouldn't be a part of. Yeah. And I sadly enough right now, Disney is failing in that part. Yeah. So DreamWorks, I know, has picked this up before, and I've loved movies that DreamWorks has done, and this is no exception. So this is a very safe movie to take your kids to.
It says that I think it was Peter Brown got his inspiration from actually looking at former Disney movies like Bambi, the ones with the animals and stuff like this, and he drew his inspiration from that. But thank God he didn't bring over the wokeness and baloney that's coming out today.
He said he was drawing a robot in a tree, and he's going, "That's odd. Why would a robot be in a tree?" Well, what would cause a robot to be in a tree? What kind of story? And then he just melted that story, from that tree. So that's kind of a cool way to do that. I think it's really neat.
Okay, let's look at our list of goodies here. Okay, language and violence or anything else like that.
Now again, the violence is minimal and it's nature violence, but it's not like Serengeti. Attacking something. It's not like that. It's like holding a bug and then a bird goes and takes it away.
Eats it.
Okay, so that's kind of the violence. And of course, at one point they're kind of tearing the robot up a little bit because they're animals. But then it works out.
Okay. Okay. Wokeness.
None.
You didn't see any. homosexuality, transgenderism, any of that type of stuff
Nope.
like that. No agendas.
No
Now,
agenda.
Okay,
I
you
think
say agenda, but you got a message.
there's a
here.
good agenda. I think there's an agenda to show the message of unity, that we can all work together.
Yeah.
We can all be friends.
And that's what we need to hear today. So it's probably a good movie for its time.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Let me see. Okay. Reels.
9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
He's going to those 0.5s today. You got 7.5.
You know.
Okay, yeah.
I can't do. There's very rare movies that I call 10s.
Yeah.
But you know, I saw a couple flaws, but mostly, I mean, it was good. So 9.5.
9.5. Well, then, so I would definitely say that Wild Robot is something that you recommend that they go out and see.
Absolutely.
If you can
And
see it
again,
at the movie house,
yeah.
go to work.
And take your kids, man. Take your kids, because it's going to be a great outing for them.
Okay, let's go back over this other one, the Adam Pearson. Oh, what am I doing over here? Sorry, I was looking at his. The other one, with the first one, we talked about a different man. That we said 7.5 on the reels, talking a good message, but to they missed out on a good target
They
audience.
missed the mark on that a little bit by the target audience. Yeah.
Okay, and then Saturday night, very good to for your Renaissance, or what do you call that? Retro. Perspective.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
That's what I love about it.
Like that, and good acting all around.
Good acting, man. I'm telling you what, you actually saw the original people in their characters. That's when it's fantastic.
It's good. And you gave that one an 8.
8, yes.
Alrighty, and of course, like we just talked about, 9.5 for the Wild Robot, our highlight of the evening. Go see that movie, take the kids, and okay, cool. Well, thank you, Russell, for those reviews, and we will be back again very soon with more movies. Now, we are coming into the Halloween era.
A little bit more.
So
we got some horror movies coming out.
Movies. Oh boy.
We've got a wonderful, wonderful movie, romance movie that's for adults. Coming up that's called In the Time. We live in time. and so that'll be coming up. So we got some really good movies coming up.
Okay. Well, keep tuned to us on The Real Perspective. We'll bring you the scoop on the flick. We're not going to pull your chain. We're going to tell you the way it is. And if you, especially when we're living in the age that we are, we don't want to. We want to watch good movies and stuff that's going to be more edifying to us than not.
Yes.
All righty. Well, Russell, thanks again, and we will see you all next time on Real Perspective.